All right, here we go. Live on Facebook, live on Instagram. If you feel moved, you can answer the question here on Instagram. And then I'm actually going to, guess I should write it here too. So, have you ever, actually, that's what I'm about to do. Okay, we're going to get started here in a second. Okay, welcome. Coming in on Facebook. Okay. I want you to answer this question. And okay, live on Facebook, live on Instagram. Can you hear me? Are you watching? Can you hear me? Waiting for people to trickle in. I'm gonna make sure that I am live on Facebook. Can you hear me on Facebook? Are you watching? Can you hear me? Will you type yes in the comments so I know that you can hear me? Headphones on, mic off. Okay, perfect. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, live on Instagram. Can you hear me? The topic of the day, have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? Have you ever invested in a man, time and money, and still got lied to and manipulated? Okay, perfect. Yep, live there. And can you hear me? I just want to make sure. This is the question. I want to know your answer. Have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? How does that make you feel? Can you say yes to this question? Have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? Can you say yes to this question? And how did that make you feel? I want to know. Check in with me. Check in with me. Is that something that you are wanting to stop? What's up? I see a what's up on Instagram. Have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? How does that make you feel? I would love to know. You can type yes in the comments, or you can let me know how that makes you feel. So, have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? How does that make you feel? And today we're going to talk about how to stop that cycle of dysfunction. So, have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? How does that make you feel? Okay, I'm just watching people trickle in. Have you ever invested in a man? This is the topic today. Have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? How does that make you feel? That is the topic on today. If you want to stop that, that is what we're talking about today. Okay, so I'm just letting more people trickle in. And if you want to answer the question, please answer it in the comments. And I see here on Facebook, I forgot the D. That's manipulated, not manipulate. Have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? That's supposed to be a D. Actually, here, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll fix it right now because that's gonna bug me. Manipulated. There we go. And all right. This is the topic for today. How does that make you feel? Are you wanting to stop that cycle of dysfunction? Okay, I'm going to let people keep trickling in for like maybe one more minute. Have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? How does that make you feel? And do you want to stop that? Because that's what we're going to talk about here in the next 20 minutes. Okay. So I'm just letting people trickle in, come on in, come on in, come on in. And you can answer the question. Have you ever invested in a man with time and money and still got lied to and manipulated and you're sick of that? You're ready to stop that cycle of dysfunction in your life. Okay, this is what um okay, yep. Have you ever invested in a man with time and money? Yeah. Just waiting for you to trickle in, and you can answer the question as you come in, and I'm sending an email out as well. So have you ever been lied to? Have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? Okay, hold on. Okay, have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? Do you want to stop that? Because we are about to go live right, or we're going to discuss that. I am live right now, but we're about to discuss that. Okay. Stand by. Close. Okay. You can answer the question as you trickle in. Have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? What up? What up? Instagram? What up? Facebook? Twitter? YouTube? Okay. All right. I just wanted to do that and pull this up. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Okay. So, have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? How does that make you feel? And do you want to stop that? Okay. Because that is a conversation we are going to have right now, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, and here on Instagram. Okay. And if you want to answer the question, I would love to see your answers in the comment section. And let's have a discussion about this. Okay. So I am actually going to stop the share on this. And oops, here we go. Okay. So next question. What have you given a man that you haven't given yourself? That's another way to ask that question. What have you given a man that you haven't given yourself? I have it up on screen. So I'm about to put this on screen. What have you given a man that you haven't given yourself? That's another way to ask that question, because remember, I asked you, have you ever invested in a man with time and money and you still were lied to and manipulated? And are you sick of that? Are you wanting to stop that? What have you given a man that you haven't given yourself? Okay. That's what I want to know. Okay. Next question. Oops. Okay, there we go. What have you given a man that you haven't given yourself? Okay. And the next question is, can you relate to this? Actually, I want to do, there we go. Okay. Can you relate to, why won't it let me? Okay. Edit. There we go. And then save. Okay. Can you relate? I was dating someone and wasn't fully comfortable with being in an intimate space with him, and I did it anyway. That should have been a boundary. How many of you can relate to this? You're not good at setting boundaries with men. Do you feel like you're good at setting boundaries with men or no? Can you relate to this statement? Or how about this? You set a boundary with him, whoever him is, whoever you're thinking of as I'm talking. You set a boundary like, I'm sick of you cheating. I'm sick of you treating me like crap. I don't want you yelling at me. I don't want you talking down to me. You set that boundary, but then he does it again. You set the boundary of, if you do this, then we're over. Okay. And then he does it again, and then you don't leave because you're caught up in your emotions and your feelings, and you feel bad if you leave him, and he's apologized. So you're like, I know that I said this, but you don't leave. He cheated on you. He manipulated you. You're not in a healthy space with him. You're constantly giving yourself to this man. And you set a boundary and said, if you do this again, listen, next time you cheat, I'm out. Or next time you yell at me like that, I'm out. And then he does it again, but then you don't leave. Why is that? Why is that? Because the reality is you actually teach people how to treat you. So every time you set a boundary and they come up against that boundary again and you do nothing, then they're like, she ain't serious. She ain't serious. So then my question to you would be, what is that costing you? To not be firm in your boundaries with men? What is that costing you? Joy, peace, happiness within yourself, trust within yourself, right? Because now you begin to not trust yourself because you set a boundary. He came up against it and you did nothing. And he's learning that, oh, I could just do whatever because she ain't serious. Okay. Because how many times, let me ask you this question. How many times, actually, I'm going to put it on the screen. Okay, hold on. How many times have you written off guys only to take him back? How many times have you written off guys only to take him back? You've written off guys like, oh man, you know what? I'm so sick of this. I'm never doing this again. And then 2 weeks later, you let the same guy back in, or it's a different guy, same type of relationship. What's up, Amanda? Aren't you sick of that cycle of dysfunction? You write them off and you're like, I'm never going to accept this. And then you disrespect yourself and you accept it again. What is that costing you? What is that costing you? So this is what you do. I'll put this on screen. I just like having it on screen here on Facebook. Instagram, you're not going to be able to see the slides, but it is what it is. Okay. And then this is what you do. This is what women say to me. I do things for him, the money I spend on him, the money I spend on my kids and everyone else, but never myself. The time and energy you're spending on people, but never yourself, to figure out the difference between healthy relationships versus unhealthy relationships. And so then you're in this cycle of dysfunction. What is that costing you? Amanda said, I'm sick because I did it again. It's costing me my sanity. Yeah. Because again, I'll go back to this question. How many times have you written off guys only to take him back? Because you know you deserve better, but for some reason you're not connecting the dots. There's a disconnect between he's treating me like crap and I need to leave, but you don't. Maybe you do for 2 weeks, but you're right back in that cycle. 2 weeks, 2 months, and it's either with the same guy or a different guy, but the same results. Because do you actually know the difference between healthy hard versus abusive, healthy hard in relationships versus dysfunction? Okay, I want to see if you can relate to this too. I'm gonna put it on the screen. And then for Instagram, I'll read it as well. So, and Twitter and YouTube. Okay. Okay, can you relate to this? I was mistreated and talked to so harshly over and over, yet kept giving him chances because of my good heart and good intentions, which only allowed him another opportunity to abuse me. And I want you to understand that abuse is way more than somebody physically hitting you. There's mental abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, and these are things that people don't talk about. There is more abuse going on in these streets than a lot of people know, because you don't know the difference between healthy relationships versus unhealthy relationships. You don't know psychology, you don't know humanness. So can you relate to this? I was mistreated and talked to so harshly over and over, yet kept giving chances because of my good heart and good intentions, which only allowed him another opportunity to abuse me. So aren't you ready to stop that in its tracks? Okay. What is it costing you to stay in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships with men? Okay. And what have you tried to not be in a dysfunctional relationship? Because it's a Drake song. People say this. Oprah's been saying this. Ayala Van Zandt, all of these gurus and stuff, know yourself, know your worth. But again, there's that disconnect between he's treating me like crap and I need to leave. And everybody says I need to know myself and know my worth. There's a disconnect because you don't know where to start. Raise your hand if you're like, I want to, but how? Because where do you go if you want to figure out who you are? If you want to figure out how to be in a healthy relationship? Where do you go when you want to discover your worth? What school? Who? What mentor? When you want to discover your worth, when you want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, and when you want to set hard and clear boundaries for real. Like you want what you think and your behavior to connect. Because you know he's treating you like trash. But again, there's that disconnect, because who's teaching you? What guidance do you have in your life? And what you're currently doing right now to cut him off, because you're like, oh my God, this is dysfunctional, I can't be in this relationship. What you're currently doing right now is like willpower without actually doing the work. That's like wanting to lose weight and going, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight, and you're having this willpower, but you're not actually working out and eating right, getting a trainer, getting some guidance on what your body needs. So when you're trying to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationship, and remember earlier I asked you the question, how many times have you written off guys? Oh my God, guys suck. Only 2 weeks later to find yourself in that same relationship, or with the same guy, or a different relationship with a different guy, but same dysfunction going on. It's like this revolving door for you, but you're trying to willpower through. You're listening to your advice from friends who have done no studying on relationships, and they actually are in the same kind of dysfunction. You're also trusting that he will change. That's why you take him back. You wrote him off 2 weeks later. I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I love you, girl. Like, we love hearing that word, I love you. That don't mean nothing. Just because a guy says he loves you doesn't mean he actually does. What is the definition of actual love? Because, I'm a Christian, but tell me where in the Bible it says love will hurt. That you're supposed to suffer for love, that you're supposed to be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationship. Tell me where in the Bible it says that you are supposed to go through that to get this fairy tale love story. So you keep taking him back, or another guy, because you trust that he will be different and that he will change, and he's doing nothing to actually change. And neither are you. You're just willpowering your way through. Well, I'm just going to write him off and I'm not going to do it. 2 months later, same thing. So here's what's wrong with that. How is that working for you? What is it costing you? What is it costing you? Okay. And I know you don't know where to start. That's why I'm here. I'm here for the women that need to hear singleness is not a punishment, that need to hear you're worthy regardless of your relationship status. I'm here to help professional single moms in their 30s and 40s stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships by discovering her worth and learning how to set clear and hard boundaries. Okay? So, again, I hear this from you all the time, like, Rika, I'm in this revolving door. I don't know how to set a boundary. Um, he treats me like crap and I let him back in and I want to stop that. I hear that from you all the time. In fact, I hear this from you. I'm going to put this on the screen. Oh, it's too long. Okay. So this is what I hear from you when I ask you, how important is it for you to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships? And you're always like, you know what? It's very important to me. I want to work on myself to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships. And I ask you because what you've been doing before, listening to advice from your friends, trying to willpower it, trusting that he will change, that's not working, is it? And you're always like, no, it's not working, not working, it's not working. And then when I ask you, let's see, I am putting this on the screen. That's why the pause. Hold on. So then when I ask you, okay, so if it's very important to you to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, to learn how to set clear and hard boundaries, and to know who you are, you said it's important. So if you could finally know your worth, stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, and know how to set clear and hard boundaries inside of a guided program, would you be interested? Would you be interested in that? If you could finally know your worth, stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, and know how to set clear boundaries inside of a guided program, would you be interested? Because again, you're going through all this turmoil. I know you're thinking of a guy right now when I'm talking. Why do I let him treat me like crap? Say that he can't treat me like crap. He does it again and I don't leave. You have this disconnect between, I know I'm supposed to know myself and know my worth, but how do I start that? I know he's treating me like crap, but I don't actually leave him. Why? It's because you don't know where to start. So if you could finally know your worth, stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, and know how to set clear boundaries inside of a guided program, would you be interested? And of course, you always say yes. Yes, Rika, I want that. I want that. That is, hold on, I'm pulling up something else. You always say, because who's not going to say that, right? If you're terrible at setting boundaries, of course you're going to say, I want to learn how to set boundaries, right? Oh, wait. Oops. So that guided program that I was just talking about, there we go. I've kind of lost my place. Here we go. All right, I'm back. Is Single You Academy. And here are testimonials from clients of mine, okay? Imagine where you are right now and where you want to be. And this is where she was, where you are now. I wanted to be loved and I didn't know how. Single You Academy. And I wanted to be loved and I didn't know how. Period. Single You Academy helped me figure out how to deal with my issues, how to set boundaries, how to raise my standards and not settle for anything less than that. And now I'm happy just raising my son. I needed help and Rika was there. Consider where you are right now in this turmoil with men, the same man or a different guy, but same type of dysfunctional relationship, not knowing how to set boundaries because you set one and then he breaks the boundary and then you stay. How much would you pay for this transformation? Is this priceless or is it like, whatever, $0? Where you are now to getting this transformation, how much would you pay for that? I'm going to show it on Instagram. There we go. Okay. How about another one? This is a client of mine. She was not self aware. She had no idea who she was. And now she says, listen, I'm becoming self aware. That's my biggest thing because I just cannot believe all of the light bulbs and things that are making sense. And I'm like, why hasn't that made sense before now, before Single You Academy? So just becoming self aware is probably by far the biggest thing for me right now. Because here's the thing, I'm going to make you look at yourself. I'm going to make you face yourself for the woman that you are and were in these relationships, not knowing how to set a boundary or setting a boundary and then letting him break through that boundary. Because self-love is not bubble baths and getting your nails done. Now, that's all great and everything. And that's, I guess, a part of it. But to me, self-love is in your boundaries. That's how you actually show yourself you love yourself, by setting a boundary and sticking to it. You will not treat me like crap. He treats you like crap, you're gone. You're supposed to be, but you stay. Why? We need to figure that out. Well, you need to, because what is it costing you to not figure that out? So again, if you could finally know your worth, stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, and know how to set clear boundaries inside of a guided program, would you be interested? Okay. So okay, here we go. Here's another boundary, especially for my single moms. Share the screen. Imagine where you are now. How much would you pay for this transformation? I put a schedule on my daughter's dad, which is huge for me, Rika. 6 years on and off, back and forth with no boundaries. And Single You Academy held me accountable to organize my life towards loving myself, respecting my body. And today I told her dad, we're not having sex. We can do dinner 3 days a week. You can go ahead and pick the time, but guess what? You're leaving by 9. And she goes on to say, God has sent you to hold my butt accountable. Here we go. I'm going to show it on Instagram. Hold my butt accountable to love myself and know my worth. I think it's better over here, right? On Instagram. You know why? Because she learned how to set a boundary. Because I am there to hold her accountable. She's no longer working off her willpower, friends' advice, trusting he has changed. She's not working off of that. And I see you, Lolita, saying yes in the comments on Instagram. So DM me right now, okay? Okay, so let's talk about that program. So I asked you, let's scroll up here, okay? Because we're going to talk about this program. So I asked you, well, there's a lot of questions I asked you. One is, what is it costing you to continue to be in the cycle of dysfunctional relationships? What is that costing you? And you said joy, peace, clarity, your sanity. So if you could finally know your worth, stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, and know how to set clear boundaries inside of a guided program, would you be interested? Okay. So Single You Academy is that guided program. And I am going to share this. Okay. Single You Academy is a 12-week program where I help you discover your worth so that you can stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships and know how to set clear and hard boundaries. Yeah, look, is it Lolita? Am I saying that right? Yeah, it's costing you your spirit. Exactly. So Single You Academy, the doors close tonight. Tonight. And actually don't follow this link. DM me so you can fill out the application and let's get you signed up by 9 p.m. Seattle time. It's 6 o'clock right now in Seattle. It's 3 monthly payments of $335, or you pay in full and you can save a little bit by paying one payment of $997. So what I want you to do is send me a DM or type I'm in the comments if you want to sign up. And again, the doors close tonight in 3 hours. because the group has been formed and they've actually gotten their first homework assignment, but I wanted to leave the doors open for a little bit longer. So if you are ready to discover your worth, learn how to set clear and hard boundaries, and stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, sounds like Single You Academy is for you, right? Because when I ask you, how important is it for you to stop that cycle? You always tell me it's very important. But then sometimes I'll get, hold on, pulling this up. Okay. Yep. Okay. So sometimes I'll get, well, I can't afford that. So this is my question to you. If it's between this program and rent, obviously I'm not talking to you. But if it's between Netflix, Hulu, Starbucks, you eating out all the time, you buying Jordans, you buying any and everything for somebody else, what is it costing you to continue to be in dysfunction? Joy, peace, your spirit. So wouldn't it be smart to work on yourself? And I have a 14-day money back guarantee, and we can talk about all of that. But here's the thing. If you want to be different, you actually have to do something different. Who's in front of you right now giving you an option and a way to start? Nobody. You said it's important for you to not be in a dysfunctional relationship, and what you've been trying, willpower, your friend's advice, trusting that he will change, has not been working. So again, I ask you, who's in front of you right now? Because I know you don't know where to start. So who is in front of you right now helping you start, giving you a blueprint? So when you say to me, oh, well, I can't afford it, I go, she's not serious. She said it was important, but she's not serious. And that's also why you say you don't want him to treat you like crap, but then you let him, because you're not serious. You're not serious about you. When are you going to get serious about you? And I'm just here if you don't know where to start. Because I'm not saying I'm the end all be all. My program is the only way you can do it. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is I have been you. I got out of an abusive relationship in 2017, and I had to make the decision to change. And I didn't know where to start either, but then I figured it out. And then I was like, I know that there are other women like me. So let me create a program to help them go through what I went through to come out on the other side, knowing her worth, setting clear and hard boundaries, and stopping the cycle of dysfunctional relationships. Who else is doing this for you? Where do you go? If you want to be a doctor, you know you need to go to medical school. But if you want to know yourself and know your worth, what school do you go to? That's why I created Single You Academy. And that's all I got to say. I think my Uber Eats is sitting on my porch for like 20 minutes, so my food is cold. If you have any questions for me, my DM is open to you, or you can type the questions in the comment. I'm gonna be close to my computer for 3 more hours when the doors to Single You Academy close, 9 p.m. Seattle time. So if you are ready to sign up and get started, you better DM me now, because these doors do close. And by the way, when they open up again, it's not going to be that $9.97. It will not be. It won't be. So I'm just being fair to let you know $9.97 will not be the price when Single You Academy opens up again. So if you want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships and you don't know where to start, that's where I come in. Who else is giving you this opportunity and option? Who else can hold you accountable? Because I'm here to hold you accountable to the woman you say you want to be. All right. So that's my promise to you. You sign up, and I will start you on the journey of discovering your worth so that you stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships and learn how to set clear and hard boundaries. So if you're ready, doors close at 9 p.m. Seattle time. It is 6:18. Type I'm in the chat or send me a DM. especially on like Twitter and Instagram, and YouTube. I'll have to put my email because I'll be close to my computer as I'm eating my food and watching the Oscars until 9 p.m. So DM me or type I'm in the chat and I will contact you. Okay. Okay. Lolita, did you DM me? You said you got your sage. All right. If you missed this video, if you're watching in the replay, you can still comment. Hopefully it's before 9 p.m. But also, if you're just tuning in, you can go back and watch it. And here on Instagram, I will post it on my feed as well, so you can watch the whole thing. And the initial question I asked you is, have you ever invested in a man with time and money, but still got lied to and manipulated? Here's one more point. So I have my boyfriend that I spend $10,000 on. Unfortunately, I helped him move from DC to Seattle because he said he was coming to be with me. Once he got here, after we spent all the money, he broke up with me saying I had it two together. And when I was on my journey of self-discovery and discovering my worth and stopping the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, I had to ask myself, why is it so easy for me to spend money on men, but not myself? And I was like, whoops. Like, it's so easy. Just give a man my credit card. Here you go. Back then it was, not me now. So what are you giving men that you aren't even giving yourself? Woo, that's what we're going to end on. All right. It's Sunday. I was going to say, what's today? Okay. Have a good rest of your Sunday. DM me, type I'm in the chat, email me before 9 p.m. Seattle time, or you will not get Single You Academy at this price anymore. Today it ends. Doors closed today. All right. Bye. All right, Lolita, I'm about to end this, get my food, and then send you a DM, okay?